Okay, so this has just come. Not got a backlog at the moment. There are some things we could be doing. TCB771 for a trucking company, and it was working great, and then it isn't. But I don't quite understand his note as to what is amiss. I think, is it tape there? So these back 2014, 2015, something like that. TCB771 from TTI. Right, so it'll be a crocodile clip job. Power it up, connect it to the test instrument, and switch it on. We get this working, it's UK only. I specifically asked him, he uses 2 channels. It's got nothing coming out of the speaker, but is that a Duff speaker? Yes, it is. So what about transmit? So it's not going into transmit, so that tells us, I think we've got a mic problem and an internal speaker problem. So if I waggle the lead around, it does go into transmit. But it doesn't go into transmit, if you get what I mean. Because nothing's coming out of it. So we've got a situation with a blown output transistor. Trouble is, he's put another set in, and I don't know whether he's SWR'd it or what, just to make sure there's no problem with the aerial. It's got 2 screws in it. Pop the 2 screws out of the back as well. I think we've got half an hour today. Out of interest, do we have any continuity on the speaker? Yes, we do. Well, there you go. What's this? Some kind of, oh yeah, digital squelch subboard. That was an afterthought, wasn't it? Whoa, look at all this moisture ingress. Well, I'll give it a go, but I don't think we're going to be doing much with this. The whole thing's been soaking wet. I think he's got a leak where in his cab where this radio lives. So if that's gone under there, that's going to be great fun taking it off. Not sure what the rework is there either. Oh, well, this could be one of those sets that is about as far as you see it. And back it goes. Let's go back to normal camera position. I'll go and get some isopropyl alcohol. We'll use the expensive aerosol one because it's handy. Quite a lot of rework on this. You know, it's like factory level rework. It's not like Mr. Bodger's been at it. Looks like it's been turned from one version to another. Oh, we'll never sell these without whatever. We're all right this side, it's not kind of gone through. Right, I'm going to leave this for half an hour for it to dry. We'll come back to it and see whether it powers up. If it's still playing up, I'm going to have to get the big soldering iron and we'll get this screen plate off. You've also got the possibility of a problem under the VCO can. But it's generating the frequencies. So it's this very type of area here and under the can that it's going to be where the problem lies, if it's not the output transistor. It's still got a duff microphone, whichever way we look at it. Okay, so we've taken a big screen plate off, which is easier said than done. Seeing it's all that. I'll get the RF voltmeter. We'll see whether it's got a duff output transistor or whether it's just all this ingress of moisture that's put paid to it working. Just connect it back up to the test equipment. We'll switch it back on. light on this either, but that's neither here nor there. It's probably done a fair few hours. It's actually transmitting now, so we don't need to use the RF voltmeter. So the remaining snag must have been the moisture underneath this screen plate. So we'll go over that in a bit and see what's happening. Okay. What are we on? UK, let's put it to channel 20. Oh, it's in lock, is it? How does that work? It's on the mic. It's on channel 20. Let's put the test instrument speakers in. And put picture in picture on. And put 2779125. That's 1 microvolt, which is just coming in. So it's not insensitive. Yes, 1 microvolt for 3 dB SINAD. Right, it's going to transmit. 3. It went off again. 3.5 watts. It's off frequency slightly, 79097, it should be 79125. Right, we'll get a piece of paper, I don't know where all the clipboards are. TCB771. Of course I pulled out the service manual for 770, didn't I? That's what you'd expect. CJ1000050A. Right, let's have a. I'll put it the other way on. In fact, we'll have it the normal way we do these. So in fact everything's labelled in this, which is handy. And it does have a relative S meter power thing on this, which a lot of newer sets don't, and it's pre-programmed, but this doesn't. So we'll have a look at transmit. So we're on channel 20 and it's doing 3.1 watts. I'll pop it down to channel 1. So we're not doing CPT, we're not doing it looks, yeah, it's got an AM capability, we're not touching any of that. 3.1 watts. I could say 3.15 watts on there, and then channel 40, 3.1 05. Doesn't do low power. Back to transmit. .2. Deviation, if we can believe this today. 1212. Wallow, 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 wallow. It says it's 4 kilohertz. I'll have to verify that with the test instrument behind me. Not doing that. And frequency is 27.79099. So I'll tell you what, we'll do that immediately. We can adjust it on this model. Just correct that. It's so marginal it doesn't make it won't make any difference, but they do drop with age. Okay, so it doesn't want to go up that way. The other way, is it? 27.79126. Will do me. So we'll now make sure the signal generator is on that frequency. It is. And let's get some proper readings. It's a bit all or nothing, this volume control. So it's 0.91. .78. And it will do 20. It will do 20. It's 4, 7, 4.75. Squelch. Wrong one. Pop it up to full. It's 30. I like it a bit tighter than that. And at the other end of the spectrum, it's 0.56. Meter. For S9 it's 24 microvolts, which is too generous. And on the transmit meter, it's reading the whole shooting match, which is, this is actually 4 for 3, so it's a bit lying. Sockets are working, potentiometers are working, the switches are working. It doesn't have that. The speaker doesn't appear to be working, but there's probably a reason for it, like the same water ingress into the connector it goes into. I'll clean that up with a fiberglass brush and we'll take it from there. So, let's see whether we can improve the transmit on this. So our transmit lineup, I do have the service manual, but the transmit lineup is obviously to me there, so we'll just go through that. Go back on the main meter. Don't know whether this is transmit or receive. We'll find out. And does it have a power control? Yes, it does. It's soon dropping to 3 watts, folks, with the heat. So it's already at full power. So it's 3.1 watt. We'll come back to this when it's cooled down a bit, because it might add 0.4 for the way my test instrument, so we're probably looking at about 3.6 in reality. We'll come back to deviation because I need to use the other test set, and we're going to do the TX meter. There we go. Right, see if we can get anything more out of the receive, having failed to get anything more out of transmit. Go over to see if it's got it might have got a detector. Put 100 microvolts on the oscilloscope. That's probably AM. Right. So nothing there. Let's go to turn the squelch down. Let's go through what we can. Although these you'd like to think are adjustable, they're not. I'm probably going to have to look that up on the manual. I'm just going to go back to transmit for my own peace of mind. Can't see that affecting either transmit or receive, you see. Go to SINAD. So we're not going to be touching. Fraction more there. Wow, a lot more there. Let's drop it down again. Go back on that one. That's it. So we've got a new reading. 12 dB SINAD. We now have 0.6. With 10 dB we've got 0.5. And for 20 we've now got 2.3. This is noise. It's going to listen to see for CPU noise. Not noticeable on this set. And now we'll deal with the squelch. the squelch to full. So I'm going to put that on 30 and we're going to adjust the squelch preset until it closes. It now opens at 100, which is where we want it. And now we'll go to the opposite end. Park it at 0.3 of a microvolt. 0.3. Very good. Auto squelch. See where it is at the moment. Let's go down to the attenuator so I can see what I'm doing. It's 2.3 at the moment. Have that a little bit tighter at 3. It's coming in at 3 as well, so that's alright. The adjustment for it would be there. So, automatic power control, AM mod, which we're not touching. Sorry, that's FM mod, it says. That's AM mod up there, which of course this is a deviation. So I'll just pop this on the test set behind. It looks like it's over the top. I think the golden screwdriver has adjusted it. Give it a quick test on here. Wow, yeah, it's over the top. It says 3.3 on that one, so we'll believe it. We need to knock that down a fraction. Wallow. That's now 2.5 feet. An average of 2.2. So it won't be transmitting on 3 channels at once anymore. So let's see what the Marconi test set makes of that now. What? Oh, I'm on the wrong mode. What? It says exactly what the other one does. So it's not lying today. So it was 4 kilohertz and it's now 2.2 to 2.5 kilohertz. Go down the other channels. Channel 40 doing 3.2 watts. Channel 1 is doing 3.4 watts. And channel 20, now it's cooled down, is doing 3.3. So say add 0.4 to that and you're about 3.7. Current consumption is now 1.217. Meter on receive. Got 100 microvolts on the radio. Let's see what it says. Difficult to say what it's supposed to say. Well, I've now got it at 100 microvolts. So, as far as the radio is concerned, it's done. What I'm now going to do is we're going to clean where the screen plate was before. Just turn the power supply off. Check that's tight. So I'm not going to even look at where the meter lamps are, because chances are you have to take the display out or bend it forwards to get to them, and chances are we'll actually end up breaking the set. So I mean, it's not like we're charging for them and not doing them. We're not charging for them. He's only using 2 channels, so you know it's pretty easy, isn't it? So we'll come back to this in an hour when that's dried, and see if it still works, and then attempt to put the screen plate back on, and then watch it not work. Right, so come back to this an hour later, and let's see if it still works. Yep, it does. Just want to make sure that it wasn't a dry joint, and that it was the ingress of moisture that had caused something to happen. Well, I'm going to look very finely and just make sure things are soldered okay. There we go, and that's the screening plate soldered back on, and the taped copper bit. Still got transmit? We've still got transmit. Okay, well, I think we'll put it back together. I think we'll turn it off to put that lid in, because you've got that lip, I just don't want it to touch any of the bits that go from one side of the board to the other. Which way have I got this going? So we didn't have any speaker operation, so I'm just going to clean the pins with my fiberglass brush for the speaker socket, because it didn't seem that the speaker was faulty, more that the pin was. Switch it back on. I'm going to unplug my extension speaker, and we'll plug in the internal speaker. Got nothing, have we? Wonder if we've got dirty or sprained socket. We have. Slightly noisy volume control, but it's sealed type, so I can't do anything about that. You can see that these modern sets aren't going to last the 20 years or the 40 years, are they? Now this is in everyday use. The hardest bit is putting it back together. So we took 4 screws out of it. So we've got 4 longer screws, which I think should be in the sides. Then I'll provide 2 shorter screws that I think should go in the back. Alright, I'll tighten them up. There we go. So how annoying is this microphone? You know what, it could be dirty connections in here. Now, I don't like to touch microphones. It's not actually my job. And have I got a screwdriver small enough? I've got to undo the tie wrap that is put around the microphone plug, because there'll be a reason why that is, and it's going to be an important reason to them. So it might look daft on my video, but that's not what this job is about. I want to help the customer. But like I'd say to anybody else, buy a new mic. So I want to make sure we haven't got a dry joint on, because it's on a printed circuit board in here. Now that looks alright. I'll tell you what, we'll put some switch cleaner on that. Again, I'm going to turn the set off. And then I can work it about. Good, that keys up every time. Right, we'll plug it into the aerial, turn off the test gear, turn off picture in picture as well. So we'll go to manual spells. 1 Anna Roger. Right, so that's a whole lot of nothing on. There we go. Done. Thanks for watching the TTB771 from TTI.